Hello everybody and welcome. This is the last presentation of the semester for PPA 577. I hope you all enjoyed the class. I know I have, and so here is my presentation on the 5 things I didn't know. So I called it 8 weeks later. So these are the topics, the key topics that stood out to me the most, and what the things I plan on applying, or the things I will keep in mind while I'm working. So my first top one was the amount of technology, innovative technology that we're using for our online discussion boards. I've taken online classes before and it hasn't been as active or productive as this one. I really liked the structure of the class. I enjoyed using Screenomatic, using YouTube, Prezi, Google Slides to create presentations and putting them up on the web to explain the topics of the week. It just for me created a sense of participation and really understanding the material to speak to other people or to teach it to other people. So I really enjoyed using Screenomatic. It just was very dynamic for me. So personally, I've really enjoyed the class, and even tools like Zoom, having the option to have office hours with the instructor on a web interface was really cool and amazing. And speaking with other and speaking to other classmates too on there, because it was just much better than having a email or the regular weekly discussion board where you're just kind of answering a prompt. So by far this has been a really great class, very dynamic, and I think it just held us accountable to create these presentations. So it was difficult at first, but I definitely loved doing these, and I love trying different things with my presentation. So I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to learn about these tools. So my second key topic was really learning about the founding people that gave public administration a name for itself, and really understanding where they were coming from, and the new transition between having just a efficient workforce to do things in a timely fashion, to move on to building relationships with employers, employers and employees, building relationships with them to create a trustworthy environment that could enhance an employee's potential to achieve a certain status, or just having that discussion and learning about these different theorists who had different ideas of what the work organization should look like, and what what the perfect employee would look like. So it was very much interesting to read about them and even listen to other people talk about them. It just kind of, like I said, reinforced my ideas of what the readings were trying to convey. So it's always nice to see and hear about it from other people. And like I said, there's now a transition between this kind of perfect employer to how can employers and employees build relationships to enhance the workflow, or how can they partner up with each other to create a dynamic work environment where there's constant changes, but there's a understanding of the needs and wants from both parties. So I thought that was pretty nice. My third thing that I didn't know 8 weeks ago was definitely the negotiating process. So this is when unions and the employers come together and they discuss their needs and wants, their needs and wants, and talk amongst themselves of coming up with solutions on how they're going to get XYZ need or XYZ want, without breaking the bank or without forcing management to do certain things, and vice versa. Management talking with employees to either prevent XYZ from happening, or to enhance or to implement a certain change. So I'm taking another class, which is PPA 575. So it was really great to see that the PPA 577, this class, and the other class that I'm taking, they're both centered on employee-employer relationships. And I really think that seeing this negotiating process is highly important, because not only did it teach me, okay, this is what goes on in a negotiating, in a collaborative bargaining negotiating process, but also it also gave me tools and ideas of things to use in my everyday work life, on how I could handle maybe difficult situations when I need to break the bad news to certain people that aren't going to get, the either the materials or maybe the money that they needed for their travel or for a certain project. So it was, so I would say that seeing that negotiating process and really understanding each of the steps and what it takes to move on to the next step. So I think that was pretty interesting. My fourth one is just the leadership tools. I think it's so important that we all have our own style of how we should lead, but also have a idea of where we want to go and what we would like our employees to become, but just getting those tools across on how to lead, not the proper way, but just lead in a way that's going to appeal to the masses, where you're going to be seen as a strong leader with strong ideas that not only collaborates with others, but also wants the best for the organization and wants the best for the employees as well. So I really enjoyed that chapter. The fifth thing, and my final thing, is doing the personality assessment. Like I said, I had done the personality test a couple of times in my lifetime, but I could not for the life of me remember what the results were. So seeing this again and taking the test, although I don't fully agree that this is like 100% what my personality traits are, I really enjoyed taking the test and understanding my default personality. And the one thing that I will say about this, what amazed me, is that the introverted personality, which that's my default personality that you'll get if you don't know me, is that I could never explain it to people, like people that knew me. Like I would always get like, why weren't you, social like you usually are? And I wouldn't know how to respond to that. And now I know that, hey, I'm an introvert, and I need to recharge sometimes, because my energy level needs to come back to a Zen state of mind. So I thought that was a wonderful part of the class that we had. And those are the 5 things that were really great for me as a supervisor, as an employee, just getting to know these things, and even for personal growth. The personality thing was great. These new technologies, I hope that I will be able to use maybe in other classes, or even in my work life. Hopefully I get to use them. The leadership skills, I've used a couple of them, and definitely in the negotiating, just kind of sticking to a positive, but sticking also to my guns personality trait. So can't say this enough, but I really enjoyed this class. Everyone has been wonderful. Thank you all so much for coming in here and listening to me talk for, well, I don't know, like more than 13 minutes. I really do appreciate it, and I've read each of your comments throughout the week, so thank you so much for commenting or clicking on my video. You're a wonderful bunch, and I wish you the best of luck in your work life and in your personal life. So thank you all so much, and hope to see you sometime, or hope to work with you sometime in the future. Thank you, and bye-bye.